You've seen them everywhere, right? In toy boxes, at checkout counters. Maybe you've even got one gathering dust on a shelf. But what if I told you that before they were in every kid's pocket, their ancestors were the exclusive playthings of the world's wealthiest children, crafted from lead and brass? This is the secret life of the toy car, a hidden journey from handcrafted luxury to a mass-produced icon. It's a story of innovation, fierce rivalry, and how a simple plaything became a cultural artifact, connecting generations through a shared love for things that go fast. So, how did a toy once reserved for the elite end up in the hands of millions? To uncover this secret, we have to go back to a time before the diecast revolution, to the very beginning of the automobile itself. The story of the toy car starts almost as soon as the real car sputtered to life in the late 1800s. As the first horseless carriages appeared on cobblestone streets, miniature versions quickly followed in Europe. But these weren't the little cars you could lose in the couch cushions. Early manufacturers in Germany, like Marklin and Bing, produced detailed tin plate replicas for the children of wealthy parents. These were large, intricate models, often powered by clockwork or even tiny functional steam engines. They were absolute luxury items, symbols of status that mirrored the novelty and expense of the real thing. Alongside these tin plate creations, the first metal toy cars were being crafted from heavy lead and brass, making them exclusive items for the affluent. In the United States, companies like the Arcade Manufacturing Company were pioneers, creating beautiful and durable cast-iron toy cars. Their models, made by pouring molten iron into sandcasting molds, featured impressive detail, with fine pinstripes often painted by hand. Another American company, Tootsie Toy, became one of the first to mass-produce die-cast cars using lead-based alloys, releasing a generic limousine model back in 1911. A few years later, their take on the Ford Model T became an early hit. These toys were a huge step forward, but they were still substantial, hefty objects built to last. Their cost and materials kept them out of reach for most families, making the toy car a novelty for a privileged few. But the world was on the brink of a monumental shift, and a new technology was about to democratize the toy box forever. So, how did we get from those heavy, expensive models to the toys we know today? The answer lies in a new technique for die-casting metal that emerged after World War I. Visionary manufacturers repurposed this industrial process to create smaller, more affordable, and incredibly detailed miniature cars. This was the beginning of the die-cast revolution. The United Kingdom became the epicenter of this new industry. In 1934, Meccano, a company already famous for its construction sets, launched a line of die-cast vehicles called Dinky Toys. They were an immediate sensation. Dinky found huge success with models of popular vehicles, including replicas of famous land speed record cars from the 1930s, like Captain George Easton's Thunderbolt. For a time, Dinky was the undisputed king of the model car world, but the post-war boom created the perfect environment for competition. In 1947, a new company called Lesney Products was founded. In 1953, they debuted a brand that would change everything: Matchbox. The name came from a charmingly practical origin story. Co-founder Jack Odell's daughter was only allowed to bring toys to school if they could fit inside a matchbox, so he created a tiny, scaled-down steamroller just for her. The Matchbox brand was born. These small, perfectly packaged models became a global phenomenon, turning toy cars into a true pocket money purchase that any child could collect. The arrival of Matchbox kicked off a veritable British toy car war. In 1956, a new rival emerged: Corgi toys. Corgi did something revolutionary. They put clear plastic windows in their models. It sounds simple now, but this single feature was so remarkable at the time that Corgi marketed themselves as the ones with windows, propelling them to the top of the market. The competition between Dinky, Matchbox, and Corgi was fierce, pushing each company to be more innovative with features like opening doors and hoods, and turning the toy car from a luxury into a staple of childhood. By the late 1960s, the British brands had established a comfortable dominance. but that was about to be blown wide open by a brash new challenger from America. In 1968, toy giant Mattel launched Hot Wheels, and the market was never the same again. Mattel co-founder Elliot Handler felt that existing toy cars were just too boring. He hired a real car designer from General Motors and a former rocket scientist to create something faster, sleeker, and cooler than anything on the market. Inspired by California's explosive hot rod culture, they designed a fleet of 16 cars with wild, customized looks, vibrant SpectraFlame paint jobs, and, crucially, low-friction wheels that made them roll faster than any competitor. When Handler first saw a prototype zoom across the floor, he famously exclaimed, "Those are some hot wheels," and the name stuck. Hot Wheels were an instant runaway success. They weren't just about accuracy, they were about fantasy and speed. The vibrant designs and the introduction of track sets for racing sparked a toy car arms race. The British manufacturers were caught completely off guard. Matchbox was forced to respond, creating its own super-fast line of wheels just to compete with Hot Wheels' speed. The rivalry was intense, pushing both companies to innovate with more imaginative and exciting designs throughout the 1970s. But what happened to all those millions of cars once they were scratched up and outgrown? As the kids who grew up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s became adults, something remarkable happened. The hobby of collecting diecast cars was born. What began as a simple pastime transformed into a passionate pursuit, with collectors seeking out the rare and pristine models from their youth. Nostalgia played a huge part, as people wanted to reclaim the toys they once loved. Today, the culture is more vibrant than ever. Collectors hunt for the red line Hot Wheels from the first decade of production, or incredibly valuable early Dinky and Corgi models still in their original boxes. There's even a thriving restoration community that brings battered, forgotten toys back to life, using everything from precision paintwork to 3D printers to recreate missing parts. These cars have completed their incredible journey. From luxury objects to mass-produced playthings to cherished collectibles, each one a tiny monument to design, competition, and the enduring power of play. From the heavy, handcrafted models of the Gilded Age to the die-cast revolution that put a car in every pocket, the secret life of these toys is a story of constant change. They are more than just metal and plastic. They are time machines, each one holding memories of childhood imagination and the echo of a fierce industrial rivalry that defined an era. Their journey from the hands of the wealthy to the hearts of millions is a testament to the idea that a great toy can capture the imagination of the entire world. What was your first toy car? Was it a Matchbox, a Corgi, or a Hot Wheels? Share your own memories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through time, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the secret lives of the objects that shaped our world.